Is Infinity Nikki really that bad? Let's dive into all data that we have and decide. I will be analyzing the game mostly from the point of game design and storytelling, and I've read a lot of comments, watched some other YouTubers' videos, and also played the game myself for 1 hour. So I'll be basing my opinion on everything that I have on hands. You will see me in the video referring to the YouTuber named BLINCHIK, and because she is more knowledgeable about the game itself and was playing for more time, I will be using some materials from her video. Let's break it down and understand what's really going on with Infinity Nikki. The first and the most important problem of the game is the bait and switch. People are mostly upset because the game they were promised is not the game they got. The original version looked like a promising, charming, open world adventure. What we have now feels like a cheap knockoff, as they say. So, as a summary, people hate and fault the companies that created the game because they made a lot of not disclosed updates that changed the game from its first version to the one we have now. So it's just like a seller that shows you a photo of wonderful juicy apple, and what you're getting in the end is rotten eaten up remains of it. Then authors also became very greedy in the process and added many elements that were not expected by the audience. The greatest example of that is that they had in the game two attires that were consisting of 10 elements, and now to create the same two dresses you need 11 elements for each of them. So it means more gacha, more money put in, less result you're getting, because the dress itself doesn't change much. They just added some useless elements to make it expensive. Most important part here is that when players started to complain, Info responded with a classic non-solution, something like, "We hear you, we won't go beyond 11 elements from now on." But that's not what the community asked for. People weren't worried it would become worse, they just wanted it to go back to how it was. Instead, Info doubled down on the new system and ignored the actual feedback. That's just one small symptom of a deeper issue. And the issue of the whole game is that company ignored their audience. And now let's see two parts that I see as crucial ones is the storytelling and game design as a whole. Storytelling gone wrong. The intro. A mess. It throws you into wreck, time travel, amnesia, chaos, tragic backstory, strange lady, and a whole lot of stuff you can't relate to. As a new player, you don't care. You don't know Nikki. You don't know this world. Compare this to the earlier version where you played as Nikki with memories intact. You found a mysterious outfit, explored, learned the ropes, and it felt natural. You were introduced to the game in a gentle and a friendly way. Now, the tutorial, which should teach you basics, comes after 40 minutes of confusing nonsense. That's not pacing, that's alienating. And what happens when the intro is confusing and overwhelming? Right, kids, it leads to early disengagement. I can guarantee you that any player as me that were first time sitting at the game and playing will feel the same thing that, oh, what is happening here? What am I playing? What is up with this stuff? What is this story plot? Wow, so many things and they mean nothing to me. I will forget about them in few seconds. All the same things that you are getting from the beginning before, now only after 40 minutes, as I mentioned before. And I'm not promising that people will stay for these 40 minutes to reach the tutorials that they're waiting for with some basic stuff that you will be using instead of just holding hands and jumping and collecting stars. Game design, where it all falls apart. Let's be clear, game design means crafting experiences that are fun, engaging, and intuitive. Infinity Nikki fails at this completely. And there are some criteria that you are going through when you are creating a game, and let's look at Infinity Nikki from this point of view. Part 1. But story integration. As I already mentioned before, earlier in the game they had a good story plot intro, but right now what we are having is just a disaster that cannot be comprehended in any way. And because it's so confusing and there are so many different plot twists inside of the first 10-20 minutes that you're getting, and then additional 20 of you just trying to get it in your head, you're practically getting nothing out of the story. And because itself story is just a part of game designing, I think that narrative is a part of the player's experience and must work in harmony with gameplay. And here it doesn't. If the plot is either too vague or too overwhelming, it doesn't invite you in, it pushes you away. Instead of easing you into the world, the game throws lore at your face. My playthrough, I didn't understand a thing and I'm still not remembering a part of or detail of whatever was happening there on the screen. And even though the picture itself is good and beautiful and everything, because of that story doesn't make any sense for you, it doesn't mean anything to you as well. This is why here as well Infinity Nikki in the newest version is nothing for you, because for the people that were playing before it's not the same because the plot changed, like the presentation of plot changed, right? And now they're looking at completely new games that they have no connection with, emotional one. And when the new people come, because the intro is too overwhelming, they will be not interested in playing the game. They will be interested in looking at it for a few minutes and closing it next second. Second part, poor UX UI, or user experience and user interface. These are parts of game design that are responsible for your experience during the whole game. When you see that the mechanics are available to you, everything on screen is understandable, and also the hints and tutorial stuff. So where is the tutorial? Why am I suddenly building costumes with no clue what I'm doing after 40 minutes of useless playing of story plot that is not connected to any tutorial-like stuff? Except for, walking around and collecting stars. Yes, it's very useful in a dressing up game. The game floods you with text instead of showing you what to do. Even after you suffer through this pointless intro, the game floods you with text instead of showing you what to do. Like, it just writes to you, okay, you can find this here, that, there, and everything, but it doesn't show you how it works. It doesn't welcome you to do that. It just like shows you that there is this stuff and, at some random point let you remember and use it somehow. So yes, you are taught to jump and hold hands, but 20 minutes later, you're not using that, and you're expected to deal with gacha parts and outfits without any guidance. A major minus here. Number 3. Dishonesty. If you promise one product, then silently sell it for another, players feel tricked. That's how you lose trust and your community. So, a big no-no for people that want to create a game. Don't do like Info did. Fourth part. Obvious greed. No freebies, no warm welcome. Okay, I can think of another game that I know is a gacha, which is Wuthering Waves, and I have more experience with it. And yes, it's gacha, but it gives you currency early, lets you earn more through gameplay, and doesn't push you to play from the get-go. That's how you build goodwill. And you can see that even though I'm not an often player of Wuthering Waves, I already have some characters that you can only get through gacha, and all the gachas that I'm getting is me just earning the points and currency, in-game currency from the game itself by completing quests, by doing some stuff. And here in Infinity Nikki there is a big problem that before people had this opportunity to do in the end game, but now it was sufficiently cutted, and instead of getting the amount they were getting before, for example, over 2000, now they're getting almost 2000 stuff that you can be using in the gacha events. Because people are not stupid, you need to understand that of course they lose trust and they stop playing your game. Let's now take a quick look at my first reaction when I encountered the gacha in game. Ah, okay. It's gacha. Cool. Let's see. I think first one will be successful, just to bite you in more. Ah, okay. The game is even more hard on that. Okay, it doesn't give you any chance. Cool. Ah, okay. From the very beginning, you need to put in money. Cool, cool, cool. Understood that. Very cool. Very cool. And fifth part, ignoring feedback. Game design is all about iteration. You create a concept, build a game, let players test it, collect feedback, and improve based on that. That's the cycle, in simple words. Infold released a demo. Players tried it, liked it, and naturally expected the final version to evolve, not transform into something completely different. Instead of refining what people loved, Infold rewrote the core experience, added more monetization, like increasing the number of elements and gacha requirements, and pushed players to play more for the same rewards. When the backlash came, they didn't actually address the problem, just like with the 10 to 11 element change. They acknowledged the complaints but refused to fix the issue, ignoring the very feedback that should have guided the game's improvement. Final thoughts. Infinity Nikki could have been an amazing game, but poor design choices, lack of transparency, and greedy mechanics kill the vibe. It's not about haters gonna hate, it's about players feeling betrayed. And I myself wouldn't recommend playing the game until it gets fixed, and I propose to you people to respect yourself more and don't go to companies that just want you to exploit as an audience. I hope this video helps and gives you a little summary and just a glance from a side to the whole situation that is happening around Infinity Nikki. If I made some mistakes or missed something, let me know in the comments and I will be happy to read them and to answer them.